Have you ever wondered what happens when a superstar passes away? The glitter, the glamour, the adoring fans, but behind closed doors, a different story unfolds. Today, we're diving deep into the world of one of music's most enduring icons, a woman whose voice has defined generations, whose style has been copied endlessly, and whose life has been a roller coaster of triumph and heartbreak. We're talking about Cher, and the shocking truth about the fortune she's leaving behind is enough to make her own family weep tears of joy, tears of frustration, and tears of bitter disappointment. Buckle up, because this story has more twists and turns than a Hollywood thriller. Imagine being born into the shadow of greatness. That's the reality for Cher's children. On one hand, you have access to unimaginable wealth, privilege, and connections. On the other, you live under the microscope, your every move scrutinized. Your successes often dismissed as nepotism, your failures magnified 1,000 times. Cher, born Sherilyn Sarkeesian, didn't just build a career, she built an empire. From her humble beginnings, abandoned by her father, and raised by a mother who struggled to make ends meet, she clawed her way to the top with raw talent, fierce determination, and an unbreakable spirit. Her journey with Sonny Bono, the rise of Sonny and Cher, the explosive solo career, the Oscar win, the Las Vegas residencies, the farewell tours that never seemed to end, each step added another zero to her bank account. Today, her estimated net worth hovers around a staggering $360 million. That's not just money, it's a legacy, a kingdom forged through decades of hard work, reinvention, and sheer star power. But what happens to a kingdom when the queen is no longer there to rule? Cher, now in her late 70s, is inevitably facing questions about her legacy, and more importantly, her will. And this is where the tears start flowing. The family dynamics are complex, layered with years of love, estrangement, reconciliation, and deep-seated resentments. Let's meet the key players in this real-life drama. First, there's Chaz Bono, Cher's first child with Sonny Bono. Born Chastity, Chaz's journey as a transgender man has been public, courageous, and at times, fraught with tension between him and his famously liberal, yet initially struggling mother. Cher has spoken openly about her difficulties, understanding Chaz's transition, though she ultimately became a supportive advocate. Their relationship, while loving now, has weathered significant storms. Then there's Elijah Blue Allman, Cher's son with her second husband, Greg Allman of the Allman Brothers Band. Elijah's life has been marked by well-publicized battles with addiction, mental health struggles, and a tumultuous relationship with his mother that has swung from close to estranged and back again. He's a talented musician in his own right, but his path has been rocky, often overshadowed by his famous lineage and personal demons. The sheer magnitude of Cher's fortune is enough to make anyone's head spin. We're talking about multiple properties, including lavish homes in Malibu, Beverly Hills, and London. We're talking about an extensive collection of priceless art, iconic costumes from her decades-long career. Remember that daring Bob Mackie outfit? Jewelry that could rival a royal collection, and of course, the ongoing royalties from a catalog of hits that still dominate the airwaves and streaming platforms. Songs like Believe, If I Could Turn Back Time, I Got You Babe, and Strong Enough aren't just classics. They're cash machines that generate income 24/7, 365 days a year. Then there are the residuals from her acting work, her Oscar-winning role in Moonstruck, scene-stealing performances in Silkwood and The Witches of Eastwick, and more recently, her acclaimed turn in the musical drama Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Her Las Vegas residencies alone reportedly grossed hundreds of millions. This isn't just wealth, it's a financial juggernaut, so why would such immense wealth bring tears to her family's eyes? Surely, it should be a source of security and happiness, right? The reality, as it so often is with vast fortunes and complex families, is far messier. The tears stem from uncertainty, perceived inequality, and the bitter taste of public scrutiny. Reports have surfaced over the years, often fueled by legal filings and cryptic social media posts, suggesting deep divisions over how Cher plans to distribute her wealth. The most shocking revelations came to light in late 2023 and early 2024. When Cher took the extraordinary step of going to court, she filed legal documents seeking to block her son Elijah Blue Allman from accessing his trust fund. Yes, you heard that right. Cher actively went to court to prevent her own son from receiving money that was reportedly set aside for him. Why? The court papers allege that Elijah is unable to manage his finances due to severe mental illness and drug addiction. Cher expressed deep concern that any money given to him would be immediately squandered on drugs, potentially leading to his death. Imagine the pain, a mother publicly declaring her son incapable, fearing for his life, and taking legal action to protect him from himself. It's a devastating scenario, played out in the harsh glare of the media spotlight. Elijah, for his part, has fought back, denying the severity of his issues and accusing his mother of overreach and control. The court battle became public, airing the family's most painful laundry for the world to see. The tears shed here are undoubtedly tears of anguish, frustration, and profound sadness on both sides. But the drama doesn't stop there. What about Chaz Bono? While there haven't been similar public legal battles involving him, The contrast in how the two sons might be treated inevitably breeds tension and speculation. Is Chaz being positioned as the more responsible heir? Does he have greater access or control? The lack of transparency only fuels the rumor mill. Sources close to the family have suggested that Cher's will likely reflect the realities of her relationships and her concerns about her children's ability to handle such immense wealth. Chaz, having found more stability in his life, may be entrusted with a larger role or a more significant portion, perhaps even overseeing aspects of the estate or charitable foundations Cher is known to support. Elijah, given his documented struggles, might find his inheritance heavily restricted, perhaps placed in a tightly controlled trust with strict oversight, or even significantly reduced. This perceived inequality, born out of a mother's desperate attempt to protect a vulnerable child, can breed deep resentment, tears of jealousy, tears of feeling unfairly judged or punished, tears of being seen as the problem child forever. These are the hidden costs of such immense wealth within a fractured family. Beyond her immediate children, the ripple effects extend further. Cher has grandchildren. How does the fortune impact them? Will they be set for life, or will they too face restrictions? And what about Cher's own legacy? She's spoken passionately about various causes, including LGBTQ+ rights, HIV, AIDS awareness, and veterans issues. Will a significant portion of her fortune be dedicated to philanthropy, establishing foundations in her name to continue this work long after she's gone? While noble, this could also mean less money flowing directly to her family, potentially causing further friction. The tears shed here might be tears of disappointment if family members feel their inheritance is being diverted to charity. Or conversely, tears of pride if they support their mother's philanthropic vision. Let's not forget the emotional weight of it all. Cher isn't just a bank account. She's a mother. She's spoken about the pain of watching her children struggle. In interviews, she's admitted to feeling guilt, wondering if her fame, her lifestyle, her own mistakes contributed to their difficulties. Imagine carrying that burden, knowing you have the resources to help, but also knowing that those same resources could be the very thing that destroys them if misused. It's a terrible paradox. The fortune she worked so hard to build, meant to provide security and opportunity, becomes a source of constant worry and potential destruction. The tears she might shed in private are surely tears of a mother's heartbreak. The helplessness of loving someone who is self-destructing, the fear of outliving your child, the agonizing decisions about how much to give, how much to control, how to protect without suffocating. The public perception adds another layer of pressure. Cher has cultivated an image of strength, independence, and fierce protectiveness. This legal battle with Elijah, while framed as protective, inevitably paints a picture of family discord. It humanizes her, showing vulnerability, but it also opens her up to criticism. Some see her as a controlling mother, others as a savior. The court of public opinion is relentless, and the family has to navigate this while dealing with their private pain. The tears shed here could be tears of frustration at the media circus, tears of feeling misunderstood by the public, tears of having intensely personal matters dissected by strangers. Looking back at Cher's history with money adds another dimension. She grew up poor, really poor. She knew what it was like to not have enough, to worry about the next meal, to see her mother struggle. That experience shapes a person's relationship with wealth forever. It can lead to an intense drive to accumulate security, but also to a deep-seated fear of losing it, or of seeing it squandered. Her divorce from Sonny Bono was notoriously financially messy. She felt she wasn't getting her fair share of the fortune they built together, leading to a bitter legal fight that she ultimately won, setting a precedent for performer rights. This experience likely cemented her determination to maintain absolute control over her own assets. She learned the hard way that trust can be broken, and that money can complicate relationships beyond repair. This history informs every decision she makes now about her estate. The tears might also be tears of memory, recalling the struggles of her youth, the pain of past betrayals, and the fear that history could somehow repeat itself with her own children. So, what does the future hold? The legal battle over Elijah's trust is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Cher's actual will remains private, sealed until her passing. That means the family lives in a state of limbo, filled with speculation, anxiety, and potentially, secret negotiations. Will there be reconciliation before it's too late? Can Elijah find stability and prove himself capable? Will Chaz step into a role of leadership within the family empire? How will Cher's grandchildren navigate the expectations and pressures that come with such a legacy? The tears being shed now are tears of uncertainty. No one knows exactly how this will play out. The only certainty is that when Cher eventually passes, the unveiling of her will be a global media event. The details of who gets what, who controls what, and who might be left out will be dissected endlessly. It could bring the family closer together, united in managing their shared legacy. Or, it could tear them apart completely, spawning lawsuits that drag on for years, tarnishing Cher's carefully crafted image and leaving a legacy of bitterness. Alongside the billions. Think about the sheer irony. Cher, the goddess of pop, the symbol of female empowerment and resilience, The woman who sang strong enough with such conviction may ultimately leave behind a family fractured by the very wealth her strength built. The fortune that was meant to be a shield becomes a sword. The tears her family cries now, tears of fear, anger, confusion, and love, are a stark reminder that money, even hundreds of millions of dollars, cannot solve the deepest human problems. It cannot cure addiction, it cannot erase mental illness, it cannot guarantee love or loyalty, and it cannot mend broken relationships. It can only complicate them, amplify them, and put them under the brightest, most unforgiving spotlight imaginable. As we watch this real-life drama unfold, it's impossible not to feel a mix of fascination and sorrow. We see the glittering surface of fame and fortune, but beneath it lies the raw, messy, painful reality of family. Cher's story is a cautionary tale about the true cost of immense wealth, the burden of legacy, and the heartbreaking choices a mother must make when trying to protect her children from themselves. The fortune she leaves behind is indeed enough to make her family cry, tears that tell a story far more complex and tragic than any headline could capture. And when the final chapter is written, those tears will be the most enduring part of her legacy. A poignant reminder that even for a superstar, the most precious things in life cannot be bought or sold. Disclaimer: the content in this video is based on publicly available information, media sources, and opinions. It is created for entertainment and educational purposes only. We do not claim or guarantee that every detail is 100% accurate.